Alrighty. Says we're live. Hello. How are we? I have been being productive / cleaning and choosing things to leave the household. Um, Saying goodbye and thank you per Marie Kondo. Does this spark joy? Am I going to use this? No? All right. Thank you for your service, and out you go. So I've been doing that this morning. Feeling pretty darn productive, gotten rid of a good bit. One of the things that I'm doing is I had to have two of these magazine holders. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is clean both of them out because they mostly held magazines that I don't read. So I'm getting rid of the magazines, and I'm going to be using them to house my planners and journals and the things that I tend to leave strewn about my tabletop because I use them quite often. But I want to have them more tucked away. That way I can actually utilize the space that's on my desk, like more than just like a book size area on my desk. So I'm attempting to do that. I've gotten most of the stuff cleared out, but like there's anyway. So I'm attempting to clear stuff out, and there's no reason for me to keep like 8 Writer's Digest magazines that I've already read, that I'm not going to reread again, and that are now out of date as for like information, because they're several years old. So there's no use in me keeping them, like none at all. I do have a magazine that has an interview with one of the authors that I look up to, but I've read the article like 15 times. Maybe I should just cut the article out and post it in like a scrapbook notebook. Maybe I should start one of those. You know, maybe I should do that instead of keeping the whole daggum magazine. Like, I'm trying to decide if if I would even keep up with like a scrapbook news like journal or not. Um, or if I should just like stick it in one of the ones that I normally use. But like I don't have that many articles that I go back and reread over and over again. So it doesn't make sense to have like a whole journal dedicated to that if I'm only going to have one article in it. So I'm going through my hoarding tendencies in my head, and I'm trying to decide to let things go. So that's the thing. I'm like in the process of I need to let go, but my hoarding tendencies are like, no, but I might read it one more time. Goodbye. It's gone. It's in the trash. I'm like, as I'm saying this, I'm like, it's ridiculous. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. It's not like there aren't other articles about this author online that I can go and reread when I feel like reading about them. So get rid of it. Out it goes. Goodbye. Free up the space so that I can actually use the organizers the way I want to. Goodbye. Out you go. Like that's the energy I need, is just like out you go, release you into the world, to just like out you go. So, and honestly, that magazine article is, I don't know if it's completely 20 years old. It might be like 16 years old. So there's no reason to keep it. None. Um, so anyway, yes, so that's what I've been doing. And in the process, I found 2 fountain pens that my brother had given me, really, really nice ones. Like the barrel has been made on a lathe. And so I'm like, oh, well, now I've got I've got fountain pens. I do have some ink cartridges. So I don't know, like one of them I had apparently used before because the nib is like nasty and I need to clean it. The other one I had not touched. So like I've got 2 fountain pens after 2 fancy fountain pens, in fact. And they've got like little magnetic caps. So they was like, oh, these are nice. I forgot about these. So it's like you discover new presents as you get rid of things. Do I normally write in fountain pen? No. Do I need to? Probably not. So again, I'm like that hoarding tendency, but I'm like, they're the presents for my brother. So, and they're nice. And so maybe I can use them for like some Instagram photo shots or something. So there is a plausible reason to keep them. It's plausible. So there you go. So I'm gonna keep them for a while. They have gone into my catch-all drawer that I need to go through. That's like one of the things on my to-do list. Because I've made a giant list of like very specific list of everything that I want to go through to get rid of. But anyway, that is for another time because we are now on writing sprints. So I'm hoping, I'm not going to be using fountain pen today, but I am going to be hoping to get a lot done, sort of like channel that energy of like, yes, I'm getting rid of stuff. Yes, I'm being successful in something and like actually, getting the thoughts out of my head, just as like we're getting stuff out of the house. So that's what we're doing today is we've already been somewhat productive, and so now we're hoping to be productive in the writing realm. So Kai says, hey, yeah, probably transferring scenes from my notebook to my computers today. Yes, this needs to happen because as time goes on, sometimes it's harder for us to decipher handwriting. Better Days, hello, how are you? And Cool Gamer is here. Hello, what are you working on today? And Becca is here. Hello. And again, congrats for finishing the last bit of your story. And yay, I'm so excited. Yes. And CB says, hello, you put washing on, had dinner, and you need to take panini test and have a bath, wash your hair. However, you just had dinner, so you can't do the test till 30 minutes after you've had dessert. Fair enough. Which you're going to go around. Okay. You do have an Alan Rickman scrapbook that you made after he passed away. Yes. Yeah, and this author's still alive and well. So again, there's like it doesn't need to be a memorial scrapbook. So like I don't need to keep that magazine. I don't even need to keep the single article. So Charlie, hey, how are you? How are you? Today you are working on your homework music track. Ooh, nice. Yes. And Heather is here. Hello, how are you? And Kai says, I did something similar with your magazines, mostly with recipes that you like, though. Yeah, and see, that makes sense. That makes total sense. But I've collected magazines that are not useful in this manner. They're not timeless like recipes are. So I'm just going to get rid of them. So Becca says, I have 5 or 6 notebooks that your grandma did that with, and it's fascinating to read the news articles from 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Yeah, and again, that would be, I had one article that was kind of interesting about the Foreign Legionnaires, but I've read that several times, and so like I don't feel the need to keep it. And most of my magazines are not this kind of thing, so CB says, be right back. Dessert and another drink are calling you. Yes. Yay for fountain pens. Yes. So I have those nice ones. I also have some, did I even keep any of them? Yes, I did. I've got, these are disposable ones-esque. They're varsity, pilot varsities. And I find that these for like cheapo versions, are you going to focus? There we go. I find that these are pretty nice, and they do come in, you can get them in different colors. So those are my go-to for like cheapo ones, and then now I've rediscovered my nice ones. So Kai says, it sounds weird, but the way Marie Kondo gets you to say thank you to the thing you're going to throw away has really helped you. And the fact that you sort of like look back on the fact that it brought you joy in the past, it's okay that it doesn't do that now. Yes. Agreed. Which is why I think her book and show and like just kind of took over the scene for a while, because it really does spark something in your brain. My earring is trying to crawl out of my ear. Both of them are. They're too lightweight, apparently. Kai says to Becca, that does sound really interesting in regards to the news articles from your grandma. Yes. It's really cool to. It's a really cool way to get to know her better by seeing what she thought was worth keeping. That is true. Now you have to edit the screenplay, so you're a little scared, but hopefully it won't be so bad. I hope so. I hope so. And Heather says, you're okay. Thanks. Good. Good. Alrighty. Card for the day. I have not pulled a card for the day, so I will need to do that. So, okay. So we got the horse spirit today. And the main message is freedom is yours. Let me find the spot in the book, and then I will show you the visual and read you the okay. I hope I'm not the only one who sings the ABC in your head as you are looking through things like this. Okay, so we have the horse spirit, and it says, when the horse spirit arrives, you are gifted with the spirit of movement and freedom. It is a time for travel and adventure, whether that means taking a trip somewhere or taking a different type of journey, one of freedom of choice. The horse reminds you that no matter the circumstances, you have free will and choices that can take you far away to a better place, a better situation, a better state of being. For there is no one but you to rein in your will to make a different decision. You are capable of powerful choices that will affect you for a long time to come. Okay, so there's that. Choices and freedom of will. Horses are social animals and known to be a friend to mankind, willing to carry us forward when we need it. The horse reminds you that help will be available to you whenever you need it, and companions will be by your side whenever you choose to go, whatever direction you choose to travel. Life is an adventure, and the horse wants you to know that whatever choices you make, you have the greater spirit within, invisible yet holding you up and always walking by your side. If your inquiry or your focus is about a relationship, you can set your heart free to experience love in all forms. The horse whispers to you that the gift of freedom is yours if you allow yourself to break out of your perfectionism, hint, hint, writers, and stubbornness. Make a move and enjoy the freedom of letting go of the need to control. So there are several things in the horse spirit for today that are very, very pointed. So perfectionism is the one that sort of just like shake your finger at me. But yes, the freedom of choice, and sort of like that wild spirit that we always talk about with Mustangs in particular, being able to go where you want, travel as far as you want, and swiftly, however fast you want to go. Being a part of a community, also a good thing. And being able to ask for help whenever you so choose. And then, of course, the relationship. I know, right? But the perfectionism is what stood out to me as I was reading that. It's like, let go of perfectionism. It'll be fine. But yes, freedom of choice, freedom of will, adventures, calls to adventures. So if you might be in a part in your story where your characters are about to leave on an adventure, or they need to leave for an adventure, or they need to let go of that perfectionism and stubbornness. There we go. That's the word we're looking for. So yeah, so that's the spirit for today, is the horse. Yeah, I think that's a good one. All right, let's see. Did that resonate with anybody? CB says, I'm back with dinner with dessert, chocolate cakey pudding thing, heated in the microwave for 30 seconds, and dairy-free spray cream. Yes. CB feels a bit called out by the horse. Yes. Heather says, wow, love that. And this is the perfect card for you. Yes. That sometimes feels that way, which is really fun. Kate is here. Hello, hello. You're probably doing stuff for work for a lot of the stream, but had to drop by and say like, yay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And Becca says, letting go of perfectionism as you're about to edit feels like an omen. Yes, it does. So I don't know if you are intending to do like a quick pass through and just sort of like collect your thoughts. But yes, not get bogged down and be like, it's not perfect feeling. So yes. All right. I have pulled up some of HK's timers. I've pulled up the silent ones for today. I've pulled up a 15 and a 25. So if we feel like we need the typewriter sounds after the second sprint, we can always do that. But for right now, I have the silent sprints so that we can choose whatever music and or soundtrack for our life that we desire on an individual basis. All right, so before we start, our reminders. 1, make sure you save your document. If you haven't already started working, now's a good time to pull your document up. 2, make sure that you have something to hydrate with. I have most of a glass of water, so go ahead and take a sip if you haven't had one in a while. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for a posture check. And 4, make sure that if you need a break, take one. Those are your reminders, and here we go. 15-minute warm-up sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Alrighty, how did we do? I did pretty good. I wrote a good bit. About 7 short paragraphs. I'm still trying to figure out. I think I've got the first 3 sections pretty much figured out, but the last one, I don't know. Feels like it's not quite connecting right. So I'm lacking something in the transition there. So I've got to figure that out. Or I could pay attention to what the horse says about not searching for perfection, and I could let it go and just keep on writing. Which is probably what I'm going to do. How about y'all? How'd we do? Okay, Heather is a former horse person, so it's a perfect card for you. And CB wants to know, am I right in thinking that horses can turn their ears 180 degrees like cats? And Heather has the answer, and it is yes. Nice. And Weaver Words, hello, how are you? Welcome on in. And Kate says you got through 30 rows of your acronym checker sheet. Oh, 30 rows of your acronym checker sheet. So are you... Okay, sorry, I'm trying to wrap my brain around this concept. So do you have like an acronym at the top, and then you have that you're going through and you're checking the chapters or the lines for everything in that acronym, or do you have an acronym that's 30 rows long? I'm very confused as to how this would look. I'm thinking it's probably more the first one, but do let me know what this might look like. CB says 76 words. Tried to find out what you need to do about your income if you move temporarily. Okay. So trying to figure out the future. Yes. And Becca says you reworked the ending. You had intended to add something but totally forgot about it when you were writing. That's fair. And Stacey says took a shower, made a call to your church for documents for your newest project. Nice. This is one about your grandma, right? And Charlie says, I got some more work done on this song. Excellent. Yay. Stacy says, but this morning you finished the most recent draft of your grandma story. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Yes. Nice. And CB says, yay. Yay, indeed. Sorry, y'all. Hopefully, I'm hoping that I can get another 7-ish paragraphs. 6 or 7, I don't know. Maybe I'll cut down the number, but they'll be longer for the next section. I'm still working by hand because that seems to be working for me at the most recent months. So your newest project is your family at this one church. Okay. Kate says, so I'm checking if all 422 acronyms in this 130-page project are properly defined. Okay. You use Visible Thread to analyze, so you upload the doc, and Visible Thread spits out an Excel sheet with all the acronyms that it found. Got you. Okay. So as long as you properly capitalized all of the acronyms, or had the acronyms spelled out with the dots in between, however you're doing them, it finds them all, and then you have to go back in and find the first instance of it and make sure that they are properly defined. Gotcha. Okay, so Kate says, and then I get to go down every single line of the Excel, find it in the doc, and make sure it's all correct. Yes. Becca says, I really want to start my shiny new idea now that you finished the rough draft of the screenplay, but you really should edit. I mean, you could reward yourself You have the freedom to choose today according to the horse spirit. So do what you want. Kate says this is work stuff. Gotcha. Gotcha. I'm slouching again, so do a quick posture check. Quick posture check. Yeah, no, I'm doing pretty good. I pulled tarot cards to because I'm working on Chimera Moon again, and I got the 3 cards, but they were a little like the connection between them was a little confusing. So I pulled a clarification card, and that did not help at all. And so now I'm just trying to go back and like, should I completely ignore the clarification card, or either way, I'm gonna have to think about that set of cards for another longer period of time as I kind of shuffle those characters and instances in my brain. But either way, I'm making progress. So I'm working on Chimera Moon today, in case I forgot to say that. Alrighty. So, and Kai opened the notebook. Yay, progress. Progress indeed. All right, I'm going to set us up for the second sprint, which is our self-promo sprinty sprint. So, make this bigger. And, okay. All right, yay. Self-promo reminders. If you do not have a blue wrench of power, you will not be able to post direct links. You can get around that by spelling out the dot in .com. And make sure that you share your YouTube channel, your Etsy shop, your Amazon author page, your Twitch channel, your website or blog, or any new fantastic things that you've got going on. Social media handles if you want some followers there. And bonus points and gold stars to you if it is writing adjacent. So those are your self-promo reminders. Don't forget to pop that in the chat during this second sprint. Get used to promoting yourself, or practice, or, eyes on your work, whatever it is that you want. Okay, then regular reminders. So 1, save your document. 2, make sure you take a sip of whatever you're supposed to be hydrating with. Go ahead and do that. Then 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back. 4, a postures check. If you need to give yourself a big old stretch, do that. And then make sure that 4, if you need a snack or a break, you do that. There you go. Those are your reminders for both self-promo and regular sprinting time. So here we go. 25-minute Pomodoro sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Alrighty, that is the end of sprint number 2. So don't forget to put your self-promo in the chat. I'm going to create a poll for the sound of sprint number 3. And your options will be silence or typewriter sound, typewriter ambiance. Okay. So if you care one way or another, please do vote for silence or typewriter sounds for sprint number 3 while you are also doing your self-promo. So let me roll the chat and find where it was. Okay, let's see. We were chatting about whether or not Becca should give her screenplay some breathing room and go to our shiny new idea, or give it at least one read through edit pass. And then CB had the first self-promo for this session, which is you have 34 stories on Archive of Our Own under the name Pepperoni Fan 1982. And you also have some new videos on your YouTube page, which is under the handle CB394. And a new novel draft coming soon. But for right now, you're headed for a bath. Your writing tutor says always give your story at least 6 weeks. And that seems to be kind of like a standard advice. But on the other hand, the fast drafters and the people who turn things around real quick don't seem to give it that much space. So I'm not sure which one is better. It's just which one works for you. Megan says you're here for a bit. Hello, Megan. You had to go to the courthouse to file some things. Now you're at the TJ Oyster Bar getting some tacos. And I said, ooh, tacos. And Megan is wearing your new shirt that you got for your birthday. It says, I just freaking love hippos, okay? And I had seen those on the internet. And I'm super glad you have one now. Heather says, I'm a writer, editor, and artist with over 20 years of experience. You want to help make your words shine. So here, if you are interested in editing and editing services, check out heatherdeweypatet.wordpress.com. And there is also a link for Heather's Etsy shop where you make greeting cards and art for writers and lovers of fantasy and sci-fi. And Elizabeth is here. Hello, hello. You were on a webinar, so you're a little late, but you're here. Welcome. CV votes for silence. Okay. We have 6 votes so far, and silence is winning by a good percentage. So again, if you care whether or not we have silence or whether or not we have typewriter sounds, please do vote in the poll. Heather says, I'm still creating my stream for Sunday. Okay. Let us know what time it will be at, if you know already. Kai says 379. Some words transferred, then you added to the scene. Excellent. CB says, wasn't sure if you were back in time to answer the poll. Yes, it's still live, so you can feel free to click silence if you want. Stacy says, I also like fireplace sounds and train ride click-clacking. I don't know, since I'm mainly using HK's timers, I don't know if she has, does she have fireplace sounds in one of hers? She might. But for right now, we're just doing silence or typewriter. Kate says, another 55 rows of acronyms. You just found out one of your least favorite people to work with is on the new bids. So you're working on, so you're actually going to write this next one so you don't snark on the group chat. That's a way to do it, to keep yourself occupied so that you don't make a regrettable comment. Yes. Heather says, same, Stacy, also the clip clop. of horse hooves on a road. Yes. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll because it seems like nobody else is commenting on it, and silence has won. That's an option for a title there. Silence has won. Noon Eastern on Sunday is when Heather's stream is going to be. Alrighty. Let's go to our third sprinty sprint, and I will just pop the same 25-minute timer on the screen since it is silent and we don't need to worry about finding a new option. All right. Reminders. 1, save your document. 2, make sure you take a sip of whatever you're supposed to be hydrating with. 3, make sure that you straighten your spine and roll your shoulders back for that posture check. And 4, make sure that if you need a break or walk around or a snack, you do that. Those are your reminders. And here we go with another 25-minute Pomodoro sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Hello, Tanya. All right. How did that go? I have managed to do 4 of my different writing tasks, and I went through the rest of those 2 little magazine organizers and got rid of the papers that I didn't need to keep and put the papers that I do need to keep in a 2-file pile in front of my filing cabinet to be filed with a whole bunch of other things later today or later this week. So I've done that, and I'm rewriting my lookup / to do like internet list because I have some things that I had added onto another list that's now like most of the way done. And then I have a couple things from requests from family members to look up or research the price of things. So I'm redoing my list, as it were, as I do so often. Feels like sometimes I don't know that I'm being more productive by rewriting the list, like once I've marked off most of it. I don't know. So either way. Okay, so I think just the 3 more things for the list then. But yeah, so I got most of the way through this new list, putting things on. So I think it's pretty good. I mean, you know, I got the good majority of things done already this week from that list of things that have been, you know, researched and or looked up. Because sometimes I see an ad on like Instagram for a book trailer or one of those sort of like TikTok-esque ones where the person is sort of like kind of supposed to be, I guess, creating the face or the emotional like expression of the characters, and then there's like a little tidbit of like what the story is supposed to be about. And sometimes that is intriguing. That little like blurb is intriguing. And so I wrote down the name of the book and the author to go look it up. And then sometimes it, like once you read the actual like book blurb, it sounds nothing like what the marketing blurb was. So I'm like, okay, maybe this doesn't seem quite the same focus. I don't know. Have y'all experienced that, in where the like the social media teaser trailer stuff doesn't quite match the book blurb, doesn't quite match the inside of the book? Like, have y'all also experienced that, or is that just ones that I happen to be encountering recently? But yeah, so I mean, I got I think one of those, and that was why I know that it doesn't quite, like the social media trailer-esque thing doesn't quite match the book blurb, but it also doesn't quite, like, it's not, feels like it wasn't quite accurate to what was actually in the book either. So I don't know if it was just like a bad interpretation by a reader of what was going on, or a bad interpretation of how it should be done by the author. I don't know. I'm not going to say names because I haven't attempted to do that, so I don't know how hard it is, but I would imagine it's very hard because, one, you also have to, you know, retain people's attention for that really, really tiny space and time, but it's just kind of like, it was a miss for me. I'll say that. But that's not the only time that I've encountered, as the only one that I got suckered into buying for right now. I'm sure I'll buy another one at some point, but yeah, but because of that one, I'm a little more wary of like actually buying the things that don't seem to match. So either way, where were we? Tanya arrived just as we were starting the 3rd sprint. So hello, I'm glad you're doing well. And thank you for that, for the hoping that we are progressing well. Yes. Tanya is working on collecting all your sales data from 2021 to get ready for income tax time. Yes. Yes. I still have not done my taxes. I know I was saying that I was planning to do them Sunday night, or at least do one of them on Sunday night, but it just did not get done. CB's computer is acting up. Oh no, everybody save. Christina says, hello, hope I'm not too late. We are still here. You still have time. CB says, I'm back. Kate just finished dispositioning beta reader comments on chapter 36. Yay! Your brain is so much happier working on your story. Oh, good. Heather says, I did finish creating the stream and worked on some thumbnails in Canva, some for an upcoming editing-related video series for Coffee that you've been working on, and some for upcoming art videos. Nice. I'm going to have to see if there's, well, I don't know. That's another thing I need to look up. Okay. Brain. Put another thing on my to-do list. Another research to-do list question. Weaver Words is still plotting away. Excellent. Kai says 323 words transferred. Excellent. CB does not do Insta or TikTok. I do not do TikTok. At least I have not been dragged there. So, all right, team. Let's do one more sprint. We've got 15 minutes. So I'm going to set us up for a 15-minute cooldown, and that'll bring us right to the top of the hour. And we can say goodbye after that. All right. Fourth sprint. Let's just get it on in. All right. Tanya's never tried TikTok either, and Stacy says, I'm getting sick. You have an iPhone 10. You don't think it's capable of doing TikTok. Gotcha. All right. Let's do this. 1, save your document. 2, take a sip if you need to. 3, straighten your spine for a posture check. 4, make sure that if you need a break, take one. Those are your reminders. Here's our 15-minute cooldown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, that is the end of our sprint. I managed to get through one of these. I've been kind of doing them randomly. That's why I just did number 1. And then I started with a second one. How many of these have I don't even know how many I've done. I just kind of pick a random one and go for it. Yeah. So I'm slowly doing this as kind of a fun time thing. It's supposed to be lessons or prompts based on classic authors or well-received authors. I've got one for Margaret Atwood, Flannery O'Connor. Anyway, they list the different authors there. So there's quite a few, both popular and critically acclaimed authors. But anyway, so some of them I'm enjoying, some of them not as much. Some of them, the way they explain it is kind of like a stretch in order to connect them. Like for the one that I started, this one, but didn't finish, they want you to come up with some word plays, essentially. But they're like, they have the word play as some of them are like, smushing 2 words together, and some of them just mean like a word that has 2 different meanings. And so it's kind of, and the way they explained it or connected it to James Joyce, I'm like, okay, I can see that you're trying to say that he was playing with words and vocabulary and creating his own, but like, why didn't you go with Shakespeare for wordplay? Because he made up words all the time. Like, so why would this be with Joyce instead of with Shakespeare? I don't know, but whatever. Is what it is. So I'm just gonna answer the prompt and not worry about why they chose what they did. But that's also because Joyce is not one of my favorites, so I'm a little bit biased. I mean, Shakespeare's not one of my favorites either. I mean, I enjoy a good deal of his stories, but I'm not going to, on a whim, just, quote Shakespeare at you. I have a best friend who will 100% willingly do this. She's a Shakespearean theater nut. And so constantly quoting Shakespeare, and that's fine. I will, enjoy her doing that, but at the same time, I'm not going to do that. So, but it's a different kind of enjoy, because she is a actor, stage actor. And so it's a different vibe there. So, all right, how did we do in that last? So Megan got back just in time for that sprint. Excellent. Heather's thinking about doing a video on misused homonyms. Nice. Let's see. What else? Where were we? Okay, so CB says your MillWordy document is 466,062 words. Nice. Very, very nice. Megan's like, you're almost halfway there. Yes, indeed. Already, which is amazing. Kate says, split the sprint between acronyms for work. You're 2/3 done with the sheet. Nice. And 61 words on chapter 42. Excellent. Today was definitely a reminder that you need to make time, even just a sprint or 2 for your work in progress, no matter how busy you are. You feel loads better after creative stuff. Good. And Heather mostly snacked, but if you needed it, there you go. That's what you needed. Megan says, I took care of some paperwork you needed to get done for the courts. You're changing your last name because your your name was not restored in your divorce. Gotcha. Okay, so now you have to do it. Okay. I'm glad you're at least moving that process along then, which is awesome. It's awesome. All right, y'all, don't forget to save your documents now that we've been working for 1 sprint or more, however many sprints that y'all were here for. Don't forget to save. Don't forget to have a sip of whatever you're supposed to be drinking. And I'm sorry, Natalie. We just finished our 4th sprint, which is the last one. But I will pop Devin's playlist in the chat. Here we go. So that we have some other places to go. I know that Charlie is going to be streaming at 5, so 2 hours from now on Twitch. Otherwise, you can check out the awesome playlist from Devin for YouTube sprints. Don't forget to save. I can't emphasize that enough. Don't forget to save. And make sure that you are taking care of yourself as you are writing. So there you go. I will be back on, what is today? Today's Wednesday, so I will be back on Friday for more sprints and more, hopefully more dedicated, like, typing time, since I haven't been typing a whole lot recently. I've been mostly working by hand. So, I mean, hey, guess I'll build my calluses back up for sure. But I do need to get some typing in to at least transcribe and expand on some of the outlining and brainstorming and recharacterizing that I have been doing. So, hooray. So I'll be back on Friday, and hopefully I will see you all around in the chats. All right. Goodbye, and thank you.